going to pull it up here in my inbox. Where are you? This one will probably be the one. And I got a message from the Justice Center. I'm just going to read their letter in case some of you haven't received it. Dear friends of the Justice Center, thank you for being an integral part of the work of the Justice Center. Because we view you as members of our team, we want to be the first to make you aware of recent events that have transpired that will likely be appearing in the news shortly. As you may remember, during the height of the COVID restrictions and lockdowns, it was reported that key members of Manitoba's leadership were breaching public health regulations, just like they were in Alberta, just like they were in Saskatchewan, just like they were everywhere, because they know it's a farce, because they know it's a joke. In June of 2021, as was already reported at the time, Justice Center President John Carpay made the unilateral decision to hire an investigator to ascertain the credibility of these claims. In a follow-up statement we shared, Mr. Carpay's decision to conduct surveillance of Manitoba government officials followed a number of high-profile instances where those who imposed and enforced lockdown restrictions were themselves found to be violating their own rules, partying on rooftops, ignoring rules about face masks and social distancing, and jetting off to exotic holiday locations to countries without COVID restrictions. This flagrant flaunting of standards took place while Canadians faced unprecedented restrictions on their charter-guaranteed freedoms, I'm going to get into that in a minute, to travel, assemble, associate with others, and worship. In July of 2021, Mr. Carpay took full responsibility without reservation for his actions and apologized to the Chief Justice Joyelle for having included him in the surveillance of government officials, namely Manitoba's Premier and Chief Medical Officer, who are the people who instituted the restrictions and the mandates, who issued all of the fines to all of this insanity, but completely contradicted their own rules. But check this out. On Friday, December 30th, 2022, John Carpay was contacted by the Calgary Police Service and made aware of a warrant for his arrest. This warrant had been issued by the Winnipeg Police in connection with events that took place over 17 months ago in 2021 and alleges obstruction of justice. When he was made aware of this warrant, Mr. Carpay immediately informed his Justice Center colleagues and turned himself in to Calgary Police Services. This charge is wholly unexpected and inexplicable. The events took place over 17 months ago, and police have not contacted Mr. Carpay nor the Justice Center since July of 2021. Rather, Mr. Carpay has been cooperating with the investigation of this matter by the Law Society of Manitoba. At the time of the events, the Justice Center Board of Directors also took appropriate steps to strengthen their governance and oversight of the organization while Mr. Carpay took a 7-week leave of absence. We are deeply disappointed that the Winnipeg Police would choose to lay a criminal charge for events that took place more than 17 months ago and that are already being dealt with appropriately. It is doubly disappointing that it was decided that these actions should take place during the holiday season when Mr. Carpay is spending time with his family. Instead, on New Year's Eve, he was held in jail for 23 hours in an isolated cell without a cot, mattress, blanket, or even a pillow. Oddly, when he was released, his bail condition was that he refrained from contacting Chief Justice Joyelle, an individual that he has never contacted outside of issuing an apology to him in 2021, July of 2021. These events are certainly troubling. Regardless, we want you to know that we are not dissuaded from the important work that lays before us in 2023. Rather, despite difficulties and distractions, our team is preparing for a productive and effective year of educating, and investigating in the future of our great country. Will you join us? We need your support more than ever. So I'm going to put out a plea on behalf of the JCCF. They're representing me in 11 of my tickets that I believe are unjust, that I believe are contrary to our Constitution and our Charter of Rights and Freedoms. But they're going ahead anyway, and so the JCCF is doing the work on the ground on my behalf and many other people in Saskatchewan and Alberta and across the country. So obviously, we're talking about governments that so many still support in this province of Saskatchewan, i.e. the Sask Party, and the UCP in Alberta, and the Conservative Party in Manitoba. We look across to other provinces that have NDP, like BC, and we consider them to be a little bit more communist. But what's happening in Conservative-run provinces? Exactly the same thing. The same tyranny. They're the same people that we've had to deal with in this regard for the last 3 years, trampling our rights as outlined in the Charter. And I know there's a lot of people out there that are a little disgusted with the Charter. I am too. That's why I'm promoting the idea of constitutional reform and charter reform. Specifically,